text messages, the phone calls, the DMs that I get, even just the likes on social media is very, very encouraging as we try and tackle and transform the community. You know that there are more people that are for us than who are against us, and that's what we focus on. We're not being distracted by and waylaid by any of the drama around us. We have some real challenges in Mount Vernon, but we are up for the challenges. Everyone's, are you ready for this? It's like, yeah, don't get twisted by the pumps and pearls. We also know how to put on fibs. Outside girls, we know how to do this, and so it's just really, really interesting because as I go different places and I'm introduced and they say, oh, we want you to meet the mayor of Mount Vernon, they'll shake my security details here. Of course, people are still always expecting demands, right? And so, those are the things. He's fine. So those are the things that we still have to overcome. But as our AG said, it's a great opportunity to be a role model and give our young women and girls an opportunity to look up, and even those who are in the later stages of their life and who are able to look back and reflect and say, wow, we got to see a woman be elected and a black woman be elected as mayor in Westchester County. So we're just really, really honored by that. I had an opportunity to go to the United States Conference of Mayors just this week and met our the Chicago mayor, Lori Lightfoot, as well as Ms. Cantrell from New Orleans, and just women from around the country, and it was amazing, it was incredible, and the work that's being done on a national level in spite of, based in our cities. The work that needs to be done in this country is going to happen on a community level. And so what we're doing here and how we're organizing within our local communities is what's going to make the difference. And as the AG also said, the census, they're going to have to kick off in the county on Monday. The census is critical. $2,750 a head. That's what we stand to each person we undercount. So when you value it, and you say this is what we can lose in our schools, in our rec centers, in our youth bureaus, and things of that nature, we have to monetize it. We have to understand what that means. So yes, we can lose congressional chairs, but for the next 10 years, it will make it difficult for us to make the case. The people who are replying to the census are people who are generally at higher education, higher socioeconomic groups. And so if we don't capture the last, the least, the left out, the lost, and the left behind, then we're not able to give an accurate story and an accurate accounting of the need in our community. And so we have to make sure that we are going into the beauty salons and the barbershops and the laundromats and the churches and in the neighborhoods, that we are really encouraging those who don't sit around the table and who don't, socialize in some of these groups, that they are the ones, they are going to be the most important partners that we can recruit, but they're going to reach the people that we may not be able to reach on a daily basis. So those are the people that we want to make sure that we're pulling in. Miss Jones, Miss Sarah, Shaliqua, whatever their name is. Yes. But that's who's going to reach those who are undercounted. I know Mount Vernon is undercounted by about 30%. By about 30%. I think we have the third worst response rate in the state of New York. Southwest Yonkers is right on our trail, and we know that is where the majority
we're going to change that. We're going to change it.
That's right. And so we have to be intentional. We have to be strategic about how we're reaching out the Portuguese community. They're doing it. The Jewish community. They're doing it. The Hispanic Latino community. They are very involved on these complete count committees. And if we don't show up, and if we're not reaching out, then we're going to be underfunded, we're going to be undercounted, and it's going to impact us for the next 10 years. So I'm just really urging everyone, if the census has not been at the top of your radar, put it at the top of your radar. We know we have to elect the right president in November, but the census is right. So we have to do both. We have to walk and chew gum, and as women, that's something that we've always known how to do. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. And so we have to focus on the November election, but we also have to pull people together for the census So whoever's in the White House, we can make sure that we're properly counted, properly represented, and that we have the tools that our community most needs to move forward. Thank you so much. I'm just glad to see so many people. To vote in, your first African-American female judges. So please make sure that we're mobilizing and we're supporting those candidates as well, making sure that they have a place at the table. We can no longer beg for our place at the table. The Bible says the kingdom suffered violence and the violence is taken by force. So sometimes you have to force the issue and make it happen.
Yeah,
God
you
bless
have
and
it.
Elected members that represent the 5 boroughs of the city of New York. I am only one of 12 elected women in the New York City Council, so we have a lot of work to do. When you talk about electing women and women of color, when you talk about women stepping into roles that were never ordained for us, when you talk about creating a legacy and a trail for so many young girls, that is exactly what we're here to do. And whether we are elected or appointed or children of God, we have a fundamental responsibility to do better in our communities.
Yes.
So when I see these powerful, dynamic women, I always say black girls rock.
Yes.
Because it means that our work is not done.
Yeah.
And when we are elected and appointed to these positions, members of the judiciary, we have to do something with these titles that we were given. The titles do not make us who we are, but we make the title exactly what we want it to be through our work and our service.
Yes.
And all of us have been called to serve for such a time as this. It is a critical time in this country. You heard the Attorney General talk about the attacks and assaults on women and women of color, our reproductive health care rights, and all the things that we have fought for far too long. The battle is not over.
Right.
And so we have a lot of work to do.
Today, so I didn't even realize that. But I want to thank Andrea because she said, because I was at another meeting and she said, this is here, that's here. So I said, of course, so I'm happy that you are all still here. And I am also really pleased that many of you came last night to my open house and had an opportunity to, know that we are here, we are open. Not only the house is open, the heart is open, the head is open, ears are open, because we are at such a critical time. And, right now, we are all, I guess as you know, the state is up for re-election. So every state senator, every state assembly person is up for re-election. The governor is not up for re-election. The other statewide, here, it's not up. Control is not up, but the Senate and the Assembly are up every 2 years. So I know Ruth doesn't miss that part of the world, but nonetheless. So this is the first time that we have had an opportunity to possibly keep the majority for more than 2 years. We had it in 2009, the Democrats, and I know this is a nonpartisan organization, but the reality is that the way the state legislature has gone, the assembly has been mostly Democrats, and for a long time, and the Senate has been mostly Republican for a very long time. And I remember when I was even considering running, there was the thing that, the Senate is Republican and the Assembly's Democrat, because it keeps a balance. And that's kind of how misinformation goes, because, they already had embedded in your brain that it was because of the two-party rule that was essential to our Constitution, the Republicans maintained the Senate. And so you almost never expected a change. And it went on like that for the better part of 100 years. And in 2009, the Democrats did get the majority after plotting and planning. But in 2010, we lost the majority because of plotting and planning. But not ours. Other people who had decided that this was a fluke and they were going to, create enough landmines for people who were unsuspecting to fall into. And sadly, we did fall into many, and then there was the economy that had a huge downturn. We had to preside over billions of dollars of cut. There were all these black people in charge. We had a black governor, we had a black majority, we had all these, all this, and everything just kind of looking, how did this happen? And you better believe in 2010, which was coincident with the census, and therefore the redrawing of the lines, they were able to come together, make sure that everybody understood this was the big tragedy of fluke and what had happened, and they were back in charge. They drew the lines, they gerrymandered everything after our undercount. We lost congressional seats because, by the way, the state legislature and Congress is up as well. So I know you have congressional folks. But the state legislature draws the line. They redrew the line. We lost congressional seats. And when I first ran in 2004, I was not successful. But in 2006, I had a district that was a rectangle. I had Yonkers, I had Greenberg, I had Mount Pleasant. By the time these folks got through, I have a District 35 that is the smiling profile of an old man with a scraggly beard. His name is Yonkers White Rock Green. I had to name him to remember all the different communities I got. I got half of Yonkers, 3/4 of White Plains, half of New Rochelle. New Rochelle, by the way, is a scraggly beard. The only thing that stayed intact was Greenberg, and I got Scarsdale. So whereas I had one city before, I now have a part of 3. And I share that with Shelley. That is the direct result of what happened in 2010, and here we are again. It is almost
10 years.
Scary. Because we once again have the majority. Once again, we see the concerted effort, which we have been able to forestall, frankly. First woman leader, me. First African-American woman leader.
Me.
In a body that is 39, now going into the next year, 40 strong. And that's why we were able to do the landmark legislation that we did. Whether it was guns, whether it was environment, whether it was women's reproductive health, whether it was voting, whatever it was, 935 bills we did with the Assembly. Over 1,000 of our own. Unclogging things and changing things and uprooting systems and recreating what we understood government's supposed to look like. That's what we did. Today, we are standing in the midst of what we believe would be a transformation in our criminal justice system, which we know is about mass incarceration, and too many of the massively incarcerated look like us. and our poor. And so what we did was we created an end to that bail system, tax bail system, but only in a part for misdemeanors, non-violent felonies. Every day is a new day where some other person tells us that we are going to see the end of the world, that criminals are running amok, they're coming to kill you, and your family, everybody who loves you. And it's those crazy Democrats that are letting everybody out to the street. Those crazy Democrats who are making you unsafe in your home. Those crazy Democrats who need to be thrown out of here because they are not for you. Where's the loudest noise coming from? The places where Democrats never govern. They're out on the island. They're having press conferences every day talking about how scared you ought to be. Upstate, not so much here. Now, when I'm talking to our local people here, it's not that there aren't legitimate concerns. I'm ready to hear that. But I can see the weapon forming in the same way. I can see not to be able to look at what I'm looking at. Because I know exactly what it is. But what we did was right. 100% of the people that we have spoken to who are even talking about bail reform and criminal justice will admit that the system as it existed was absolutely wrong. And 100% of them will tell you that 90% of what we did is fine and they'd like to see some tweaks here and there.
Right. That's right.
I'm more than willing to work with whatever that percentage for the real reason to create real fairness in a system that we want to protect victims, but we also don't want to criminalize poverty or people because they're a certain shade.
That's right.
I cannot be in a position like this and pretend that these systems are okay. And I understand when we take down these types of systems, everybody's upset. But I want us to be clear about the big picture, the intermediate picture, and the small picture of with 100% of people saying that they know if they were involved in this system that it's unjust. Nobody did anything about it before now. And that's just not okay. So we've done something about it. We're trying to work to see, through the noise, what, if anything, we should be doing. But I want you to hear why it's become so noisy. And I want you to be able to recall, because for most of us, it's not something distant. Recall why this is necessary. We just did King Weekend, and everybody posts, letter from a Birmingham jail. He was in jail. He was in jail. He was in jail sometimes because there was no parade permit to be able to protest. He was in jail because laws were unjust. He was in jail. We're supposed to have come a long way. My bottom line has always been thinking about police crime. When you could be 16, accused of stealing a backpack, stay in jail for 3 years, come out before days in other people's family, and be so mentally disturbed that you kill yourself before you reach 20. I don't want to preside over a system like that. So, as we go into this election year, I'm sure the noise will get louder for our conference. We're going to keep our eyes on the prize, which is to do justice and to disrupt systems that aren't doing that. Because like I said, if I gotta make history, I wanna make history. But I wanna make history that makes us proud.
Amen.
Sure. I want to congratulate the new mayor. And of course, these are
The one in charge, Council President. Now, my great friend, 40-year friendship.
Isn't that what it is? I heard about it in the inauguration.
I talked about it with PG. That's the PG version.
I can imagine, Lisa. And, you know, all my electeds today, and, you know, everybody else who really acknowledged, and everybody who is running in this season. Thank you.
Just elaborate more on the bail reform and why bail was originally established.
Okay, yes. People should know that bail was intended to be used to prevent flight risk, period. Flight risk. So if they thought that you had a chance of not showing up, they would then ask you to post bail. In that system, though, was the wink and a nod, and, you know, then you just kind of were kept, people would say bail too high, so on and so forth. So, you know, there were other things, but the actual intent for bail was flight risk. And obviously, if you don't have two nickels to rub together, you're not a flight risk. And, oh, by the way, when you have people who commit the same crime, but the only reason they're out, you know, you may not like the crime, it's a terrible crime, it's a dangerous crime, but if I have the money, I'm out here. You know, if I don't have the money, I'm in here. So, you know, you can have Harvey Weinstein walking around. You know, and nobody care about him.
Yeah, this is me.
You know, this guy up in Connecticut who did, he's in the media, they posted that he made a $6 million bail. You know, they still know what happened to the money. So, I mean, you know, the reality is that so much of these things came down to who could afford to get out. You know, and who couldn't afford to get out. And more often than not, as you can see, borne out of who's incarcerated, you know, it's people who don't have means and people of color who don't have means. So we don't want to be part of that.
Okay.
We want to make sure that if you are accused, that you are assumed innocent like everybody else. And when you get convicted, then, you know, people should be, you know, incarcerated. But the bail system still is in place. People, you know, murder people. I mean, you know, we still have bail in place. But as I said, we got rid of it for misdemeanors and nonviolent felonies. Now, it turns out a lot of nonviolent felonies, you know, kind of sound scary. And if the only thing, and, you know, they are scary. But if the only thing, you know, we're hearing every day is, you know, I mean, you know, thousands of people have gotten out. And, you know, but it's the sensational of reoffenders or whatever that you, so, like I said, I'm not suggesting that things can't, you know, be relooked at, but I am suggesting that, you know, some people see it as an opportunity. And, you know, I just don't want us to fall into, you know, that.
Sorry, so was the bail reform where the numbers lowered, or was it the?
Oh, no, there's a lot of people who are out.
Okay.
You see, because with the bail reform, if they were just holding like the Khalid Browders of the world, who just were sitting there because they didn't have $500 to get out, they had to let them out. So the headline is, you know, thousands of people now get let out of jail. And because we're in an environment on a national level and everywhere else, where everybody is just taught to be afraid, you know, I mean, to me, it's the national conversation. You know, it's what the president is trying to explain every time that, you know, they are trying to get
I'm gonna ask
they're
a question
coming in,
about
they're
domestic violence. You can
rapists,
film
they're
me
drug dealers,
on my
they're
phone
plus the whole
about
country.
domestic
You know,
violence.
everybody
You can film me.
is
Gonna ask him.
terrible,
Yeah, when she's finished.
and
I'm gonna ask her.
only he can protect us from the hoarding masses who are coming in. So this is already been a stage that's set. So when you do something that now allows people who have been held without conviction for maybe, very like I said, Philippe Browder that stole, maybe stole back. I mean, plus people don't even understand it's taxpayer money. It's we who are paying for people to be in jail.
We
for-
spent $90,000 keeping him incarcerated.
Right.
Because he could not, because his incarceration cost the state of New York $30,000 every year that he was incarcerated. So
Wow.
for the 3 years, he was there on $90,000 to the taxpayer for a book bag that cost less than $100.
Right. I think
It was like $500, but he didn't have it in his bank.
it might as well have been $5.
And it makes a difference, because if someone can't afford bail to come outside and help their attorney fight their cases, what's your chance of success? I've been practicing criminal law for 14 years. I've had like 2 clients able to help me from inside the jail. And that's because I have to go and fight to have property release and figure. It's really hard to win your case when you're sitting in jail. When you're in when you get out and you can work with your lawyer, you have a greater chance of success and a greater chance of not having a conviction that's going to prevent you from getting jobs.
Tuck this underneath here for me, Gloria.
And oh, by the
Tuck it
way, while
underneath.
you're sitting there in
Thank you.
jail,
Thank you.
while they are many times trying to just have you hang there so that you can finally plead to something, so that you can finally get out, you probably lost your job, maybe you lost your housing, maybe, so like I said, one thing goes on, another thing goes on, another thing goes on, another thing. I said, and it's just, it just has to stop. And that's the same reason I'm glad that you brought this up where, speedy trial, discovery, you don't even know what people are charging you for. You're here to lease it or something and you don't even know what happened. So now we have discovery that you have to, tell people, what they're actually being charged for. And oh, by the way, why should you be in there for months, years, waiting for a trial? Justice delayed is denied. Can I hear that again?
Justice delayed is justice denied.
So, as I said, there are things that we can do to make things better. I said our conference, because we are a majority now, because we have made inroads in upstate and we have made inroads in Long Island, we know that we are a statewide conference. We're happy to be a statewide conference. We're happy to work on all of these issues, economic development, jobs, the environment, keeping taxes, especially, how we are in Westchester, Long Island. I mean, these things are important. But I can't just ignore the things that continue to, which is why we did housing laws that were the most tenant-friendly laws in the history of state legislation. It takes a minute because to throw people out. And, we've changed so much. And oh, by the way, we don't even have them coming up every few years because that was also the dance. So we made the laws permanent. And so now it's not, tenants being afraid what's going to happen 3 years from now. So we want to keep people, we haven't seemed to find a way yet to do a Mitchell Llama type thing where the state and feds and everybody kind of came together to do affordable housing. We don't have an affordable housing program right now, especially in places like this.
Wow.
And so this used to not look like this. People know that. This is completely different now. And most of these apartments are market rate, which I'm perfectly fine with market rate. But we can't not have affordable housing, not have low-income housing, not have any place for homeless people to go, not have any program that actually is going to be affordable enough for people who are low income, and not have rent laws that can help people stay in their houses. So, I am your problem right now, but I don't think I will be. Because, like I said, there's, I see what I see, and, I have a great conference who, seem to see it too. But this year, because it's 2020, will be another census year. Whoever keeps the majority this year will draw the lines for the next year. The congressional lines, the lines for the state legislature. This, for everyone who understands politics, is a very big year in terms of state government. So we're going to need everybody who's interested in making sure that we are able to continue, that we break whatever the crazy cycle was from 2009. We don't want a 10-year repeat. It is my hope and prayer that we come back with a veto-proof majority. I'm looking for 43 minimum, and we will be able to fairly draw lines. We will be able to make sure that we have the representation that we should have. And while we're doing good in every way, take care of making sure that systems that we depend on are just.
Madam Majority Leader, what's the likelihood do you see of having this 43 for veto proof?
I think, again, I believe it's very, well, first of all, 10 of my Republican colleagues have already said they're not running again. So they know what time it is. They know what's coming. But, like I said, they are so excited about the whole criminal justice conversation. I'm sure, that if they see an opportunity to sort of hurt some of, especially my more vulnerable members, the ones that have just, gotten elected in places where Democrats never were elected before, they really see this as an opportunity. And as I said, I see that, unfortunately, this is going to be a really huge, political test.
For those 10 from Long Island upstate?
No, there's like more upstate than Long Island. So like I said, so my desire and hope is that I'll be able to keep everyone and just add. If I actually kept everyone and added, I could probably have much more than 43, which I don't discount. Because, it looks one way today, but tomorrow it'll look, so that's why, I always say do the right thing for the right reasons, and the right thing happens. So as far as I'm concerned, I know what I'm looking at, but I also know what we're doing is right. So I think we win. I think we win big, and I think that, we go on to do right.
Hey, so let me just say this. In 2009, we were rolling. We had such good legislation, and I had the greatest time working up there, I must say. They had a lot of blacks and browns that they hadn't seen ever. I mean, the Senate was like, those little, what were those guards? The big little guards.
Sergeant and sergeant.
They didn't know who was who, so every black person, they let them through. But I want to commend you. I've seen the hires, and I know the people from when I was up there before Jeff Klein made sure they got me out of the clerk's office, black person worked there. I don't talk about that, because I'm hoping they'll more of that, and they're black people in now. Good, I'm so happy.
You just might have to
But still, the history books will mark that I was the first black person ever to work in that office, and I'm so thankful to Ruth and Shelley and all the people who made this article. I just want to say, I never said it publicly, but I just wanted you to know that.
Bless you.
And me and Ruth were roommates, we can't talk about that. This is a PG discussion. We put the red sock on the door. Oh, no.
So in all fairness, in the beginning,
beginning of, well, not in the beginning, but Captain Mother of Class Sketch was here.
Yeah.
A week ago,
Yeah.
and she spoke to her campaign to reject David Carlucci's candidacy. You want to speak a little on that?
You know, I don't really, I have not, I've told everyone, I met with a lot of the congressional candidates. I am not in this race. I have no dog in this fight. I do have colleagues, obviously, and Senator Carlucci is one of those. You know, so I'm just really not weighing in one way or the other. But, you know, I will say that when he came back, he understood the rules of engagement, and he has adhered to the rules of engagement. And he, you know, he's you know, a good colleague now. So, but you know, we all have baggage, right? So, I mean, at any time you're running for anything, people will talk about your record. And so he's a big boy, he has to know that somebody's gonna say something. So, you know, and also what we changed to that end is that we changed we gave now early voting. There was never early voting, but now there is. And we also combined the primaries. So it used to be that you could run for Congress, for example, and then if that was unsuccessful, you could then turn around and go back for your state legislative seat if you had one. But because the primaries are now combined, that it is a decision that anybody who has a state office is making affirmatively to walk away from their office. So, you know, by his saying I'm running for Congress and I'm running in the primary, he's saying he's not going to be a state senator anymore. As just as David Buckle was saying, I'm not going to be an assembly person anymore. So there's a lot on the line for these people, and I would suggest anybody who's running for office, you know, you got to figure out like what the chances are of you winning based on, you know, the reality of your situation.
And plus, if one of them wins, one of you all need to be looking at those seats that are in districts. So everything is like, if I run for this, and then he wins this, and that seat is available, so get your eye, like if you're in one of those seats, if you don't win this, then you have your name out there in a bigger thing, it's a small pool, and.
You know, I mean, and that's in fact, he was telling me when he said he'd be calling people up saying, hi, you know, I'm going to run for Congress. They're like, oh yeah, the first thing they say is like, who's running for your seat? Right. So, you know, he didn't even get out of this point. They were like, oh, who's the next? So.
Hi, I am one of the people that was running for the city.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they all know. I called her office and they were very, very perfect. So now I'm running for board trustee instead of Austin.
Good.
I think they would like Austin, this is not the gerrymandered.
Of course not. Again, this is what they did. I spoke to the mayor about that. You know, please. I mean, it made no sense.
Right.
You know, but it was again, it was part of the deal that they had with the Republicans to create that.
Right. And then when you try to run, they're saying, oh, we're gonna support the guy who's here because he knows us. And you don't know us, you're in Austin, and you're running with voter ticket. So.
It's very, yeah. I mean, that's what gerrymandering is. That's what it looks like. And David Carlucci had all of Rockland and just Austin and Westchester counties. So, you know, it was because, as I said, I promised that, and one of the people on my independent redistricting is Dr. Flacco, so he's back.
He's the best.
And, you know, like I said, I promise that when we draw those lines, we will draw them, because we only have to draw rational and sane lines, and it's not going to be that hard to do, because like I said, they have very seats. And what they would do is allocate the constituents differently. So Republicans had like 285,000. We had 315,000, 318,000. So they had more money per capita for it, you know, because they had a smaller. I mean, they did everything, and then of course the IDC was part of that too. Because it's like, okay, I don't have enough people, so now I have to go find people who are willing to betray people, or what, you know.
I told years ago to do, and we came to change the world, one black woman at a time. still got work to do. Yes, we have to continue to ensure that that happens. But let me go back to the governor again for a second. Andrea said to me when I have to say this somewhere. Andrea and I were at dinner, we were at the Senate dinner. So one of my Republican colleagues that was sitting at the table, because that's the nice part about
In terms
the Senate.
of,
And you go to the dinner, everybody's a senator outside of that office, but really looking at housing, particularly for vulnerable populations, i.e. those returning from prison, grandmothers taking care of grandchildren, you know, those non-traditional housing opportunities, and everybody was already going to take care of that too. I mean, and in the first year, 96% of the veterans were no longer homeless. Get that? So, but black women, young women with children, grandparents taking care of grandchildren in the African American community, those numbers still continue to be very high. Homelessness among young people is extremely high. Runaway youth, very, very high. Young people aging out of foster care, going to prison, not having supportive housing opportunities. So those are the things that I had concerns about. So one of them said to me, well, how successful do you think you're going to be? I said, well, it depends upon what day I have his ear. So Andre said, good luck with that. Andre, I want to tell you, I've had pretty good luck with it. We have had pretty good luck with it.
Well, I don't have good luck.
Yeah. We're getting there, Andre. We're getting there.
I understand that.
Yeah, we get it.
But
Incrementally. Incrementally. We
I
get
hear
it.
you. But somebody had to do it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
You know, because people don't understand that when you work for folks, you're not the only one that's talking to them. And it depends upon how much power you project. And one of the reasons that I've always felt with the caucus, and I keep jumping back to the caucus, because the caucus was a very powerful organization when we started out here. Now you heard the young woman talk about Gordon Lynch. We had one of our most powerful meetings in Gordon Lynch's house. And you know why? Because the county executive came. And all the men and everybody had said, why are you going to the women's caucus? Why are you going to Yonkers? He understood where power was. And when he came, he said, what is it? What is your agenda? What is it that you want to have happen? And we said hiring practices have to change in the county government. And we went down the list of things that had to change. And if this organization does not have the power to make our leadership come to the table to us, not we go to them, then we are not.
Right.
And so I think that when we start showing up in numbers at these public meetings and at each of these opportunities and asking the right questions that impact our communities, it makes a difference, because then he knows Andrea has a constituency that he has to respect. And I have a constituency that he has to respect. That Crystal has a constituency that her boss has to respect. Because when we lose respect, we lose power. And so that gaining that respect is really very difficult to do, particularly with men in power. I was going to say based on ethnicity, but men in power. Because on the food chain, everybody's in it. And white women, I give it to them. I give them whatever they taste. But I'm not giving them what belongs to me. And I'm saying that because they are replacing us and black men in the workforce. You look on your jobs and see who's being hired. We are being displaced. And if we're not speaking up, and if we're not showing up, and if they're not supporting each other, that's going to continue to happen. Conversations with my boss, and people say, well, when I first went to work for the government, they said, well, why would you want to go to work for the governor? You and the governor fight all the time. I said, and we're going to pretend to fight that's the day when I leave. And I kept saying every week, I would say to my kids on Friday, they pick me up at the train. And I said, oh, I can't go back. I can't do this, this is too hard, I'm commuting to the city, why you wait till you're 75 years old to start working in New York City? But every day I go, I know I'm making an impact.
Amen.
And when I look at the things that the governor put in his budget, those budget bills were bills that I could not get passed because it was not a majority. So when I tell you that I have had a victory, we have had a significant victory. Because discovery was my bill. Look it up. Child protection bills. Domestic violence bills. Look it up. They
right.
never had a chair for domestic violence in the state of New York. No task force, no discussion about nothing. We created it, and from that, we began to have laws that protect all women.
Yes, yes.
But we've got to protect
Yep.
black women.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
I sit on the Governor's Council for MWBE. I sit on the Governor's Council for Interfaith, for the Interfaith Council, as well as the faith-based initiative. I sit on the Committee on Homelessness and Runaway Kids. And then I got other work he designed for me to do since I speak for him across the state. And wherever I'm speaking, I'm going to always speak through power. And the day that I cannot, you will hear that I have retired.
Amen. Amen.
Elected Bronx Borough President. You have to speak it into existence.
You're gonna be, you're it.
Because if God is for you, who can be against you?
No one. You're
And
it.
I fully believe that every day I wake up,
You're gonna
I
be it.
wake up with a desire to serve my community.
Yes.
Because our young girls need to see all of us.
Right.
You can't be what you can't see.
Right.
And young girls need to see hope, opportunity. They need to see that their dreams are a reality and
Right.
are possible. And we don't have to be defined by our circumstance, but rather who we are as people, our values and principles that we stand firmly on. And so I know I'm preaching to the choir because all of you ladies get it. But the bigger question for all of us is what are we doing with the titles we have and what legacy are we leaving behind for our young girls and our young boys? We have to teach our young people that when you see injustice, you have to stand up. You can't stand on the sidelines and watch your community in destruction,
Right.
but you have to invest in our young people and our families because they are the future. And if we don't do it, who will? Black women have elected many people in this country.
Yes.
And I also want to mention, Madam Attorney General Doug Jones in Alabama. Yes, Alabama elected Doug Jones. And so it's happening across this country, but as black women, we don't want to be taken for granted.
No.
We want to be respected. We want to be at the table, whether we have to bring a chair or not.
Yes.
We want to be respected, and we want to be a part of the process. And so our time is now. I say to all of you, we have work to do. The U.S. Census, the presidential primary, so many things happening in our local communities. We have to be about our Father's business.
Yes.
And we have to get things done.
Yes.
We can't just talk about it, but we have to be about it.
Yes,
So I hope
BP.
all of you are energized as you collectively meet. We have to have a plan, we have to have the passion, and we have to have
The purpose.
the purpose to do this work. And so, as Hakeem Jeffries, our good congressman from Brooklyn, he loves to do these mic drop moments. As you heard last week during the impeachment trial, he said, if you don't know, now you know.
Know it. Okay,
Another trick, he's sleeveless, but he is not in his mind without cards. So, like I said, just don't play into that deck, and we will be able to, keep it moving.
Well, we thank the Senator.
Thank you.